I'm Ryan Milton. Welcome back to the Iron Palace. This is the show every single Tuesday I'm running where I'm teaching you how to build a palace out of those gains. They tell you a body's a temple. Well, guess what? When you stacked, you jacked, you got a palace, all right? So that's what we're talking about on the show is training, and today's topic, I'm telling you how to train for your first competition. All right, doesn't matter what division, doesn't matter what you're trying to do, bikini, figure, wellness, bodybuilding, men's physique, classic physique, it's all going to be covered today in what we're talking about on how you train for your first competition. So please do me a favor and share the video and subscribe to the channel and comment and tell me, give me a thumbs up, let me know what you think of everything, and keep the suggestions coming for stuff you guys want to see, okay? I appreciate it so much, and I'm so thankful that you are here watching right now on the Iron Palace. I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. Let's kick it off. Okay, so we're talking today about training for your first competition. A lot of people don't understand what they need to be doing or how they need to go about the process or even really where to start, right? A lot of you out there that are first-timers, first-time competitors, you look at the Instagram, you look at the YouTubes, you look at all of the people that are competing, the pros, the coaches, and a lot of times it's very intimidating, right? You're looking at a whole, basically, a whole industry, a whole separate sliver of the fitness industry that in a lot of ways looks real hardcore. It looks like it's very hard to do, and even though your best intention might be to compete, a lot of times when you see this stuff, it just looks like there's no way you would even know where to start. So today we're going to talk specifically about how you figure out what division you want to do, and then also how you pick a coach, if you're going to get a coach, and then also the exact process step by step up until show day. So, first thing you gotta do, no matter who you are, male, female, whatever you're doing, you gotta figure out what division you want to compete in. And now there's a lot of different divisions, so depending on how far you have dived into this, you may or may not know that, okay? I know looking at it, you could, somebody who's not experienced, in other words, in understanding all these different divisions and things could easily mistake bikini and wellness, could easily mistake even figure and bikini and think that, you know, it's just different athletes, but it's actually entirely different looks, okay? So for each division, no matter what you want to do, again, male or female, you got to know what the rules of your division are, okay? So what you can do is you can go to NPC News Online and read about these different divisions. They have all the rules laid out and stuff like that. But honestly, the best thing you can do is get with a coach or somebody that can help you pick what's going to be your best division. Regardless, you got to decide where you're going to compete, okay? And what I suggest is that people are naturally more inclined for one division or another 99% of the time, okay? And what I mean by that is some woman could want to be a figure competitor or something like that, but they might actually be better as a bikini competitor to start. You know, they might have that natural look. And some people just will not be able to attain specific looks, you know, just because of their genetic structure and the way that their body is. There's going to be, in other words, divisions that are better for the athlete kind of naturally, and then ones that might not be as easy to do. Of course, you can always train and do whichever of these divisions you want to do. There's a lot of different options. They're going to be more muscle, less muscle, different shape, different size, different proportion. And that's why there's sometimes, most of the time, 99% of the time, going to be something you're more kind of genetically, naturally inclined for, okay? So, for example, wellness, for example, is a division where the lower body of the women is very, very developed compared to most of the other divisions, okay? And so with that, women that naturally have a very developed lower body, they're going to fit in there better than bikini, where they'd actually have to lose some of their natural muscle and so on and so forth, right? And for the guys, same difference. Some guys have a very hard time training their legs, getting big calves, things like that. Well, there's men's physique where the legs are not actually being scored nearly as much as something like bodybuilding where they're scoring you down to each cut you got in the quads, right? And so with that, there's these divisions that can naturally fit you better than others, and you got to know that right away. So what I recommend as step one is explore the divisions, figure out which ones you want to go with, figure out which one you like the look the most for, and which one you think you could perform your best in. Because let's not forget, right? Anybody can go on a prep for any of these divisions, and if you pick one that is going to be too unattainable for you, or you pick too short of a timeline, all these different things, you're going to pretty much waste your time having trained for it, right? You're not going to, in other words, place well or do as you should, and you'll put a lot of time and a lot of money into doing this stuff, when in reality, if you pick one that's better for you and you pick the right time frame and you know where you're going to fit and generally how you can perform better there, you have a better chance of doing well, that's going to dramatically change how your whole competition experience goes, right? Nobody wants to go through a grueling 12, 16-week prep of all this dieting, all this workout, all this other stuff to, at the end of the day, not receive anything because of their hard work, right? And so with that, you got to understand that it's generally a better idea. Obviously, you can never guarantee a placing. You could do everything perfectly and not place in the show, and that's just part of the sport. But you can also, for sure, look at yourself subjectively and say, okay, well, maybe I fit better here. I probably have a better chance of doing better there than there. And you know what even is better than doing that yourself as a first-time competitor is getting with a coach, okay? And that's what I'd say step two would be, is get with a coach, at least get some advice from a coach, okay? You don't need to, per se, sign up for a whole prep right out the gate. We are going to talk about that in a minute. But basically, you could get information from coaches at least. I do physique assessments all the time for people that I work with, people that I don't work with. People ask me, hey, you know, what could I be doing here? Should I do wellness? Should I do men's physique? Is classic better for me? Or maybe it's bikini? And people will send me a DM, show me some pictures, whatever. I'll look at their last stage shots, and I'm all the time saying, hey, you know what? Actually looking at it based on my professional opinion, obviously it's not a say-all, be-all, but my opinion, this would be better. This would be good. You have this, you could improve that, you could go here, you could do that. And with that, I'm doing physique assessments, okay? I'm assessing people, seeing where they're at, seeing where they could be, and trying to help them fit into the category that's going to best fit them, right? And that's what we're talking about, the division. So getting some advice from a coach, getting advice from some judges, you can do this stuff in advance. It's harder to do if you've never competed to get advice from judges, because typically they're going to give you just feedback. But you can look at the resources online that judges have, you know, where they've done videos on NPC News Online, or they're talking about X, Y, and Z, seminars and different things like that, YouTube clips. I have interviews I've done with Sandy Williamson and things like that on this YouTube channel. Definitely check those out if you're a women's division in any of the women's divisions, because she is the head judge of those. But the point is, you know, there's a lot of resources where you can learn from the judges even before you've been judged. And so that's something that I definitely suggest. Honestly, get a physique assessment from a qualified coach and see what they tell you. If they won't do it for free, I would say they're probably not the one to check out. You can do it with me at TeamFFLEX.com right now. You can go over there, subscribe to trial. You can get into my app for free, and I'll help you figure it out for you. It's totally free. There's no obligation, nothing there. I'm doing this to help you. I want to support you on your goals regardless. So make sure you head over to TeamFFLEX.com right now and subscribe to that trial. So basically, you've hopefully mapped out your division now, right? You know what you want to do. Maybe you got some feedback from coaches or me or whatever, and now you kind of know where you want to go. So that was the first step. Deciding on the division is the very first step of what you need to do actually in the beginning contest prep. Because now what you actually got to do is assess where you are at based on where you need to be come show day, okay? So if we know, let's say you're a bikini competitor, you decide you want to do bikini, it's your first one. You got to know, okay, I'm right here. I need to be right here by the time that I compete in order to do well, okay? So again, this is a spot a coach can help a ton, but you can also figure it out, you know, try to do your best guesswork, which is something I never suggest, but some people will do it. A lot of people want to self-prep. A lot of people think they can self-prep. Not something I encourage, but the point is you could try to do your best guess estimate of where you need to be based on what you're seeing, what you think, you know, coaches are telling you, judges are telling you, whatever. And with that, you got to figure out the timeline, okay? So if you have muscle to build, like literally if you're sitting there and you have actual muscle to build, and you're like, okay, I got this and that, but I need to build these on, I need to add a little more shoulder, I need to add some legs, then you're going to be taking a longer period of time to get ready for your show, okay? Because you're actually going to need what I call an improvement season phase before you even go and compete, okay? And with that, this is something that comes up a lot of times with competitors. Even ones I coach today currently, people will come sign up and they want to just do a 12-week prep or 16-week prep, and I'm like, okay, that's great, but a prep is not where physique is built. The physique is not made there. So if you actually have muscular improvements, shape, symmetry, and size, all these things are very important for every single one of these divisions. Well, we're going to have to correct those first, and we do that in an improvement phase before the prep ever happens, right? For example, an improvement season, an improvement phase is dedicated towards attaining the correct muscle structure, the correct overall shape, size, and symmetry, right? All these things are very important to each division. And then once that's there, once you built it, it's not a season for conditioning and things like that. That's where the prep phase happens. Now you actually find a show and you're going to prep into it, and that's where you mainly are dieting down, trying to optimize your shape, your size, your proportion. But you're not going to be adding any new muscle in prep. You're not going to be adding new muscle in a caloric deficit, in other words. And so with that, you got to understand that there is a time for each one of these things. So when we're talking about going from where you are now to where you need to be, you really got to know, okay, do I actually need to build muscle? Do I need to bring this up? Do I need to bring that down? What do I need to do to attain that look? And then you have to build a plan out for it, okay? And so this can take longer if you have significant changes to make. A lot of times as a first-time competitor, you might have just been training in the gym, you might be dabbling in a little bit in that style of training, but it's likely that you do not currently already have the proper shape, symmetry, size, and proportion to then just jump into a 12-week prep and do well at a competition. A lot of times for a first timer, you're going to have to spend some time improving first, maybe a month, 2, 3 months, maybe it can be up to 4 months. Honestly, it really depends on where you're at and the condition you're already in. And then you're going to have to do an additional level of prep. And depending on where you get during the improvement process, that's going to dictate how long your prep needs to be, okay? So you got to do basically the improvement phase to attain the right shape, size, and proportion, and then the prep phase to dial it all in and bring it to the stage, okay? So 2 different phases. And let me remind you, this is not only for first timers. This will happen every show you do from here on. If you go and you compete and you get your feedback and then the judges tell you, hey, we need to see this, we want to see that. If you want to advance further, you want to go to the next level, you got to do X, Y, and Z, then guess what you're doing now? You're going into an improvement phase and you're going to get those improvements before you come back and do the prep phase. This is the cycle of competing, okay? And so with this is why I suggest, which is my third thing, getting a coach, okay? My third thing here is, at this day and age, it is very, very competitive in the sport of bodybuilding. And bodybuilding is all divisions, bikini, everything. I'm talking about it all. The bodybuilding industry now is the most prevalent it has ever been, right? A lot of people are competing, a lot of very high quality physiques, a lot of different people coming out all the time with their guns blazing, coming at you for these titles and these trophies and things like that. And so with that, it is way more competitive now than it's ever been. And with that, you got to understand, you can't really just guess your way through this shit anymore. If you watch some of the stuff on my channel before, I've done the evolution of bikini, I've done the evolution of some other of these divisions, you would see that when these things started years ago, they were far, far less competitive than they are now, right? There was a time bikini competitors, it literally, you could have just been relatively lean and looked good in a beach bikini and won a bikini competition. Now, there's all the shape, all the proportion, the hourglass figure, the right level of conditioning, the posing is dramatically different, all of the hair, the makeup, the suits, all this stuff comes into play now into the actual judging. When at one point it was literally like, hey, throw a bikini on, stand on stage, and if you look good, you're going to win. Now, everybody is looking good, everybody's got the shape, everybody's got the size, everybody's got the proportion, everybody has done significant work to improve, and bikini is widely widely considered to be one of the least intensive divisions to prep for. Okay, so if we're talking about figure, we're talking about physique, we're talking about wellness, these are even a level above in the intensity of the things that you're going to have to do and the amount of muscle you're going to have and so on and so forth. And the same goes for men's physique and bodybuilding and classic, right? There was a time when men's physique started that, again, you could have just been some dude that could take his shirt off at the beach and you looked good and you could have won men's physique. Now you look at those guys and you're like, how is that even possible, right? Because it's just basically developed so far over the years. It continues to go further and further, and the quality is getting better and better. And with that, it becomes very, very, very hard to guess your way through this stuff. Can you do it? Absolutely. Are you going to have to invest years of learning, certifications, probably schooling, probably a ton of other accessory, additional studying? Yeah, you would. You would have to spend years and years to be able to self-coach yourself at a very high capacity, because even if you can self-coach yourself, you're going to get in your head a lot, second guessing yourself, wondering if you're ready, wondering if you're here, wondering where to move, and that takes away from your time that you can be a dedicated athlete. So my third thing to say, if we're talking about the 4 things that you need to do in your first contest prep, number 3 would be get a coach. I strongly suggest it. I'm not at all trying to push TeamFFLEX is the only coaching on earth. Absolutely not. But get yourself with a coach that you feel comfortable with, someone that's going to help level you up, someone that's going to give you the right level of attention and get you in the right spot. Because unfortunately, in this day and age, in the game that is currently contest prep training, there's a lot of bad coaches. There's really no other way to say it. There's a lot of bad coaching tactics. A lot of coaches that will push drugs and performance enhancing, anabolics and stuff on you and things like that. They're going to tax your hormones, tax your body, and potentially cause you a lot of problems, okay? There's also a lot of bad bro science peak week stuff that actually lands people in the ER. Hear about it all the time. Talk to thousands of competitors that have been through stuff like this, unfortunately, and it happens a lot. And this is a lot of times due to the fact that there's very unqualified coaches. A lot of people will go compete, do their show, maybe they win, maybe they don't, and they become a coach now. Well, I believe in coaches should be certified. Coaches should actually have certifications. I know a lot of coaches talk shit about that, and that's because they don't have any, okay? Coaches should also have legit, real education in whatever fitness field, something like that they're doing. And they should also have tons of experience. You should be able to look at any of their clients, talk to any of their clients, and they would tell you nothing but great things. These are the 3 things I think are so important when it comes to coaching. 4th thing is really you got to have somebody that fits with you, because as good as the coach can be, if you don't fit, if you're going to have problems, it's not going to work. So you got to find those 4 things in a coach, and I strongly suggest you do those things. I would definitely recommend that you do not just jump on the bandwagon with, your favorite pro that all of a sudden is now coaching if they don't have experience coaching. I would for sure also suggest that you try to look up your own research on certain topics and things like that come up. If your coach is telling you, hey, you need to take this supplement, know what the hell the supplement is. A lot of coaches will tell you it's a supplement. It's actually performance enhancing drug that's going to mess you up and cause you problems, not to mention it's illegal, okay? There's all sorts of different things that come up, and unfortunately it's just part of the game. The way that we do coaching at TeamFFLEX is the way that I believe it should be done. We have certified coaches. We got, people that do not push drugs. We only coach naturally. We have all these things in place that totally benefit the athlete to a whole degree, far beyond the training, far beyond the nutrition, right? We have our coaching app, we have the VIP program, we have so many support groups and so many different ways to just help athletes on every single part of the process. And so I suggest you find something like that. If you want to learn more about what we do, go to TeamFFLEX.com. You subscribe to our trial and try it out for free. And we'll show you exactly what to do. And that's also something I believe that coaches should do. If they're telling you, hey, you can't get anything, you're not helping you at all, I'm not showing you anything without you spending $1,000 or some crazy amount, then in reality, they're probably just in it for the money. And you're probably going to pay, and then they're not going to you're not going to hear from them. You're not going to respond. That's another big thing that comes up in all this kind of coaching practice, is the unfortunate fact that a lot of coaches just are not organized and they don't pay attention. They won't respond to you for a week, 2, 3 weeks sometimes. It's crazy. So with that, I kind of went off on a rant about that coaching, but it's so important, I believe, honestly, that you get with a coach if you want to compete, so you can do it the right way for your health and wellness. You can bring your best to the stage. You don't invest so much time and so much money into this sport and not do well. If you have a good coach, if you have a qualified coach, you absolutely can attain levels levels you couldn't imagine, okay? It does not mean you will win every show. It does not mean you will place at every show. This sport is subjective, and it's all depending on who shows up and who's going to be there stage day, what the judges think at that table on that day. But you can absolutely continue to get better, continue to go forward, continue to take yourself in this sport to whatever level you want to go if you have the right team of support behind you. Lastly, number 4, the fourth thing I suggest on your first contest prep, and honestly for all of them, is that now you know where you want to go, you know what you're going to be doing, you know you got yourself a coach, you got your plan. Here's what you do. Follow the damn plan. Stick to the damn plan. You gotta absolutely do every part of a plan to the best of your ability and constantly have feedback and stuff like that going with your coach. Very, very critical as a first-time competitor that you understand all the different processes of the first prep. And I'm talking about the fact that you gotta do the nutrition right, the training correctly. You're gonna have to pose, so make sure you have a coach that has posing coaching. We include it at TeamFFLEX in our coaching programs, and that's what I believe most people should do. I know they don't, but the point is, you gotta have the posing down. Posing is a lot of stuff when it comes to prep. So if that's something that's being neglected in your coaching, it's an issue. And with that, you gotta also understand that you're gonna have to do different things like get a membership for the NPC, register for your competition. You're gonna have to book your hair, your makeup, your tans. Even if you're a dude, you're still gonna have to do the tans. All this kind of stuff comes into play. You gotta know how to do it, in what intervals, and when, and all that to make your first prep experience very easy. Hopefully you have somebody that will set you up with this. We do all that at TeamFFLEX. We literally have the VIP program even where we have people doing all that for you, literally booking you, getting you the memberships, getting you registered, doing all of it for you. It's actually incredible, so you can check that out at TeamFFLEX.com. But in reality, you got to have the plan, you got to stick to it. A lot of competitors get off course, they get off the plan, and they start to worry, they start to second guess. Maybe you lost contact with your coach or something like that, they're not answering you, and then that's not your fault anymore. But either way, if you start shifting off the plan, you start going the wrong way, you start, second guessing, doing this and that, and you're not having good communication with your coach, it'll be the end game. Because you got to constantly have good communication. The way that I do my coaching is I check in with my athletes every single week, and I have them in my app scheduled for progress pictures and body stats. They do them, I'm responding, I'm checking it out, and now what I'm doing is I'm adjusting the training, I'm adjusting the nutrition, I'm adjusting the posing, I'm adjusting and fine-tuning this athlete so that when they get to stage, they're absolutely bringing their best, okay? So you gotta have constant check-ins, constant feedback, constant improvement, and constant adaptation is your process, but most importantly, you have to stick to the plan. And hopefully you have a coach that's doing a plan like that for you, okay? That's super important that you have that. Otherwise, if you're getting a regurgitated program that, they give everybody else, it's not custom, it's all just the same stuff. Oh, you're a bikini competitor here, oh, you're men's physique here, and they give you one plan, one size fits all approach. I guarantee you, you're going to waste a lot of time, a lot of money, and you're not going to get the results you want out of this ever. So please make sure you get all those things down. Hopefully that was a good overview today for you on the 4 things that you should be doing on your first contest prep. I know I said a lot of stuff here, and probably a lot of it got buried. I kind of talk fast too, so sorry about that. But literally, if you're a first-time competitor and you need help, whether you're with a coach, whether you're on your own, whether you're thinking about getting a coach, please feel free to hit me up, okay? Ryan at TeamFFLEX.com. You can subscribe down here and send me a comment. You can also go to the website and just subscribe to the free coaching trial. I want to help you with whatever I can do to help you get where you want to be. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I literally just want to help you. Any advice, any feedback, anything I can give you. If you have more questions, you know where to contact me. I'm always available. I'm answering my questions every single day of the week. So please take advantage of that if you need help. And I have a whole other team of awesome coaches too. We got female coaches. We got everybody. So if you want to ask them anything too, you can do the same procedures, and we can help you with whatever you need. That's the goal. That's the aim. I want want to see you get on stage. I want to see you be successful, because this sport is a game changer for you on all levels, physically, mentally, personal development-wise. Bodybuilding, I believe, is the most mental sport on earth, because you constantly have to sit there, look at yourself, and know what you need to make better. And every single day, you got to wake up and do the work. So I'm here to help you with whatever you need. The rest of my team will help you too. Thank you for watching the Iron Pals. This is Coach Rye from TeamFFLEX. Please subscribe, please share. I'll be back tomorrow for First Call Outs, our show dedicated towards competitors and teaching you how to get that first call out. Please make sure you tune in. Thank you for watching. Coach Rye is out.